What up, what up? I'm your host here, Dusty Boaz Henry, and I got the superstars with me. Let me take this and put this in my ear so it won't be reverberating. Dusty Boaz here, Boaz being the believer of the Alpha and the Omega, Z representing the Omega, Henry being high earning, not rich yet, but I'm still Dusty. But my boys over here, they not Dusty. They got it together. And you know, I thank you all for joining. We're gonna do a little reaction video and let's just jump right into it. I haven't seen this video, so we're gonna see what it says. We're gonna see what it's talking about, and let's just jump right into it. Looks like something with DJ Khaled. Oh, we got the
Amber Alert.
what did they change it
Amber
to?
Alert's
Not it's ending like the Boquisha alert now. No, I'm serious. I think they really recently changed it in California.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see what this is talking about.
She introduced me to cocoa butter. She's like, yo, baby, you asked, you need some cocoa butter.
Right.
She introduced me to Dove soap. Like, I might have used a different one. It's just the little things, and it was just the care. And I never had that care only from my mother.
Right.
I'm out here hustling. I'm out here grinding. I was washing my own clothes. So it'd be crazy. You know what I'm saying? She came in to show me that love, but I call her my spiritual advisor. And she's not a regular spiritual advisor because she's tough. And I love it. She was not only my lover, my best friend.
Right.
And she gave me my two beautiful boys. And I told her, we forever.
To hear you talk, I had Steve Harvey on about 2 months ago, and he mentioned how Margie helped him level up. It put him in a different frame of mind, that she gave him the positivity to think that he was Superman.
That's what she does for me.
And to hear you
She
talk,
do that. And I didn't know he said that. And I know that feeling because sometimes I'll be like, yo, Ma, like, it's like, come on. And she'd be like, you got this in so many ways. And I'm like, man, you're right. And I get it done. She makes sure I keep my head up high, my chest up high, and let's get it.
Okay, well, there it is. Where there it is. So, do we think that? Check this lady out. Do we think that this lady is a modern day woman?
She introduced me to cocoa butter. She's like, yo, baby, you asked, you need some cocoa butter.
Right.
She introduced me to Dove soap.
What do we think?
I mean, from
What's
the
your
looks of it,
definition?
she looks modern day, but she has traditional values,
And break it down for the audience. What is traditional values?
I guess the easiest way is Proverbs 31, right?
That's the cop out.
Proverbs 31 woman, a helpmate.
Okay.
Somebody else jumping on that. Katie,
Reverend Judas.
Yeah, I think it's like you can tell that somebody instilled to her the characteristics of a woman. Help her understand exactly what are the principles and what are the goals and mind frame that she need to have to cater to a man and to make sure that he's on par, make sure that he levels up, make sure that he understands his place and understand that, hey, I'm here to compliment you in a way. I'm here to help you elevate.
Okay. All right, Reverend. All right. What you got, Katie?
I mean, I hear that. I think that's what we all looking for, right? Is somebody that's gonna like support us and build us up, not tear us down. So, one thing that I do want to point out though is I was talking to somebody. I actually asked somebody about this, and it's kind of one of those two-way street deals, So it's like as much as they're trying to build us up, we gotta be trying to build them up as well. Like we build each other up. That's a good relationship, a good healthy relationship.
Well, the basic instructions before leaving Earth simply say, husbands, love your wives. Wives, respect your husband. Am I wrong?
It's all
No?
about
You're
respect,
right.
Okay.
man. It's a
All
mutual
right.
respect for sure.
It's a mutual respect. So, where are we failing as brothers out here living their lives in a modern world to where tradition isn't lining up with the values that are important to these modern day women?
You know, that's a characteristic I think that you can't really put on all women because I think that even as a man, that all women are not going to come prepared that way. There's a process and a transition to where you two have to grow together, and by you filling her up and she filling you up, you kind of level up together. So it's not just going to be one where someone accelerate higher than the other because it's going to be unequally yoked from a standpoint or sense. So I think there's a time and a place where both of y'all are not going to be on the same level, or to where you're going to build him up one season, she's going to build you up one season. It's a continuous pattern until y'all both are at a level to where you understand your place and how you can help your mate. It's a growing session. You have to grow together to be able to get on that level. I think it's not just something that somebody's going to walk into. Even if they did have the traditional values, I still don't feel that just because someone has a background don't necessarily mean it's going to carry over and transition into who they're meant to be. So it's an evolution. It's a continued
Right,
growth.
right. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. Oh, all right. KD, what you got?
Yeah, I would say like, it's a situation where if you're not growing together, then it's kind of doomed to fail, right? Like as soon as like if you get together and there isn't like that mutual I guess idea to grow together, I don't know how else to say it, but uh that's kind of key to a healthy relationship. And as far as like the women not being able to uh have that mentality, that traditional mentality, I would say that just comes from entitlement. And I think that's a very American cultural thing.
Okay. All right. All right. AC, speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about that compatibility, you know. And as far as them being entitled, I agree with that. And it's also, you know, how you were raised. What example did you see growing up? You know, um, so that's kind of what I have to add on that. It's just all about finding somebody you can build with, you can compatible with, and that you can grow with. That can help you level up, and you can help her as well. But a lot of these women nowadays, I see that they want a traditional man, but they're not a traditional woman. You know, so and I think it's because they weren't taught those traditional values, right? So
Big
I
Mama
play
told
devil
them that they
advocate.
didn't need to get a man that couldn't pay her bills, that couldn't take care of her, that was driving the metro bus. Make sure he got a good job, girl. Make sure he can take care of you, girl. What did Eddie Griffin say?
and also they were preaching independence too. Like you don't need no man, you can do this by yourself. So that too.
And I think that comes from the relative safety that men have molded society into, to where women can have more of that independence. Men inherently want their women to be able to do more, to be able to be that partner, that rib. Are we allowing them as so-called traditional men to step in their traditionalism as a women?
Are we allowing them?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, we are. You
How?
know, what you mean? How?
What are you doing as an individual that will lure in that traditional woman to love, honor, and obey you despite what's going on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook?
That's a good question. I'm gonna punt that to someone else to answer that. That's a good question.
You know, I really think it's not really like about the traditionalism, right? I think that a lot of it has nothing to do with the situation that we put them in. A lot of it is ingrained based upon the way the system has changed, based on from our childhood and from our parents. If you go back to those cultural changes, when the crack epidemic hit the place, the scenery changed. So women had to be forced to play the role as a man and a woman. So if you look at it from that standpoint, I think the things that you can do to honestly fight against the culture right now is that as a man we got to accept the fact that we got to do our part too. We can't just expect something from a woman and we're not being the leaders in the household. We're not being the person that's going to actually help your wife grow or be that helpmate or think that you're in control of the whole situation to where what you say is go, because that's not how it is. Once you get an understanding of like we're here to help each other grow, and by us helping each other grow, then this is going to be transferred over to our children. So we're setting the stage and setting an example for what our kids is going to see. So there's a generational curse that's in place right now because of the crack epidemic. So now the culture is programming us to set the stage for women to say, "Oh, I'm independent. I'm sexy red. I'm this. I'm that." So if you let them fall into the culture and let them think that that's how it is, and you don't stand up as a man and take your place as a man, then that's what you're going to get. Because we're programmed right now to seek that type of woman, because that's what you see all the time on television. But if you step out and go against the grain and look at it from a different point, I think it takes a bit of emotional intelligence, right? Because here's the reality of it. You know, because we was ingrained to talk about traditionalism, you see a woman that's assertive and that's handling her business as someone that's, arrogant or cocky or thinks she's all that, or she's being a person that's going against the grain. When if you accept the fact that, hey, if I step my game up and accept the fact that she's just about her business, then we'll be on the same level. But until we understand that and realize that it's not just about me and about what I can bring to the table, it's about what we come together and bring. Because it takes two to tangle. It can't just be one carrying the weight. And just because a woman don't have a job doesn't mean that she's not a provider for the family as well, too, right?
That's very
Because
true.
my wife is a homemaker, and she take care of my boys and make sure that they're fed. She's teaching them in school. She's doing all these things that the person on the outside can take for granted. But these are the key things that make my household operate in the way that works for us.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not about the status of who makes the most money, who does this, who's bring this in. It's all about order in the house. The reason why she respect me is because she see that I respect the Lord. And then I'll transition from a vertical standpoint. If we're looking up to Jesus, then we're resembling that. Then she got to love us just like she loved Christ, right? Because it's a vertical. When we get offset it and we start looking at it from a horizontal standpoint of who's taking, the place to be the leader in here, there's going to be some times when you're not going to be there and she has to take your spot. So there's going to be some intermingling of different situations to where you got to be on one accord. But in order for us to understand that, it comes down to communication and understanding, hey, here's my perspective on things, here's your perspective on things. We might not agree all the time, but at the end of the day, we're going to come together because our family depends on it.
So how do you influence that lady that is taking all her instructions on life from Sexy Red to step back and let you lead?
You got to reevaluate that. Why are you chasing a woman that's trying to be like Sexy Red? She's
Exactly.
incompatible to where you at in your life right now, right? Each one of you guys are individuals that are at a higher echelon. Y'all are not in the 20s and 21s and 28s and all that to where you're chasing that type of environment. You're looking for someone that's more seasoned. By you knowing what you're looking for and understanding what you want guard the line for you, then it makes it easier to delineate what's not going to be compatible for me and what I'm looking for in a woman. And it's not all about what you think, like the characteristics of, oh, she got a nice body, she looked like Beyonce, because that's all fictitious. Because the image that we're seeing that's portraying is not the reality of what's life. Those women are altering their body to get that type of situation. When you got to understand that we all have our flaws and characteristics in ourselves. So we got to understand that just because you're cute now, is she going to love me when I'm great, old, crippled, and walking with a hunchback? And I got to accept the fact that, gravity falls as well, too.
Right.
Go ahead,
AD,
AC.
what you got?
Well, I was just gonna say, taking it from a little bit of a different approach. Gender roles have kind of gotten away, right? So like I think that's a discussion that you should have like with whoever you're trying to date or be in a relationship with, is what they feel like the different gender roles are. Like, what do you think a woman is supposed to do? Do you believe that a woman is supposed to do certain things? Do you believe a man is supposed to do certain things? Like, what are those things that you believe they're supposed to do? Like, my tradition or whatever I believe the tradition to be, because we haven't lived that life, for a very, I haven't lived that life. All I've seen it in movies and I've heard it in, videos and stuff like that, but I've never actually lived that life. So, all I have is an impression, an idea of what masculine energy is supposed to be. So, like, if you have a discussion with whoever you're dating, what is feminine energy? What is masculine energy? Like, what do you feel like I should be doing? Like, there's certain things that we're supposed to, certain roles that we're supposed to take, like certain things we're supposed to do to show masculinity or femininity, and, to care for a household or to, provide for a household. So I think getting a common ground there is kind of the starting point, but then like Judas was saying, to have that common ground to where, like, if need be, you can switch roles, and kind of be fluid with it. Like if one person is unable to or whatever, that the other person can step in and kind of take over for the time being. That's a little bit different of a situation, or but I think the only way to kind of get there with somebody nowadays is to have that discussion and see what, because these younger females probably don't even know what it means, because like you said, they're focused on being independent and doing their own thing versus filling a specific role and doing, providing or caring, tending to a family.
AC, you got the floor.
All I gotta say is if I'm chasing a woman that her role model is Sexy Red, something's wrong with me. like hit me over the head, something's wrong because that's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's just all about just finding someone that you're compatible with, someone that has the right mindset, someone that's coachable, right? Someone that can accept accountability when there's a disagreement, right? But no, I do not want a woman that's out here listening to Sexy Red and all of. Nah, we're good. I'm good on that. So,
We're good on that.
I'm good on
I
that.
think what it boils down to is actually the standards. What kind of standards does she have? And that's going to identify to me exactly, if she's going to be even somebody I would take into consideration. I think if we disqualify them faster instead of trying to make them qualify them, then it helps alleviate the process.
Yeah. I have a nasty habit of accepting people at their 60-70%. Going toward that 80-20 rule. Like, she close enough to 80. And then when we get deep down into the relationship, their reactions to something like where the bath towel is hung in the bathroom is atrocious. It's not something you can even work with, because she's having a full freak out session because you put it on the left side of the shower instead of the right side of the shower. But I think all your points were on point. I like what Judith said as far as, eliminating them and recognizing what they have to bring to the proverbial table. Let's just call it what it is. And if those values align with something that she's able to show from Jump Street, then you build from there. But if you catch her on Instagram and she's twerking and got tattoos all down her chest and weave all down to her heels,
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of those situations too where like it's not really about the outer appearance, right? I need to understand you emotionally. If I can deal with somebody if I was in a situation where I was single, if they had tattoos and long hair, that's just a stereotype, right? It's stereotypical. But I mean, if they have the intelligence and have the qualm, have the ability to want to adapt and move forward. Because I can't say like me, honestly, and I'm just gonna be candid. Me 10 or 13 years from now, I am not the same person I was then.
right?
I was in the streets. At 14, I had over 60 tattoos. I have tattoos all over my body. But that's not who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Now today, I'm executive. I carry myself in a different manner, in a different light. So I mean, I can't judge someone on their past. I have to only experience them from what they bring to the table from the future. So I mean, you can have tattoos. You can like having weave and still have intelligence to you and still have a way that you carry yourself in the aura that that's just like inseparable for me to like not say I want to press or move forward with it. But I wouldn't get caught up into stereotypicals and all that because I mean, black is beautiful and I think that we kind of are indoctrinating that because someone wear weave that they're not beautiful or because they have long fingernails they're not beautiful. It's just an expression of who you are, right? Because we see
But
all
they're
these
not doing
people
it for
on
us.
TV. I mean, they might be doing it for themselves. You know what I mean? It's all about that attitude and all about what's important to them. Because they might think that, they might feel one way that that's sexy. Like, it's no different from you saying, hey, you got braids, you get your braids done. Do you do it for yourself or do you do it for them? Probably a little bit of both, right?
They trying to take away my strength by shaving my head. That video's to come out soon.
Or it's no different from, saying you feel more comfortable wearing a suit. And someone from the other side can say the perception is that, oh, he's doing it just to catch somebody. It's like, nah, I feel more comfortable and I feel more like a boss when I'm in a suit opposed to me in shorts and jeans. So it's all a perception.
Yeah, I agree.
Perception is everything.
Yeah.
And it appears that DJ Khaled's perception in this scenario is that some of the things that he would be able to achieve would not be there today without a strong, supportive woman in the background, including the ability to bring him in to the world, two young, beautiful boys. If the Lord says the same, I would have some boys so I can pass down the legacy and the name. I want you to be a Henry.
I got both, so
Yeah, we ain't all able. You over here representing for the whole crew. Go ahead and hold it up. Go ahead and hold it up.
For 5 of them, I got 5.
No, the other one.
One girl.
Okay.
And that was a blessing too. Like when I think about that situation, like when I met my wife, I was in the streets. I was doing something that wasn't where I was like heading to right now that I couldn't see myself in right now. Enrolled in school, college, Harvard, all these different things. That is not the future that I had for myself, but I always had higher expectations. I always wanted to, work hard and thankfully she seen that through me that she was just like, okay, you're not where you at right now, but I see where you're gonna be. So sometimes they can see the potential in you, just like you see potential in them. And then they'll be willing to grow with you in the process.
Where are the potential lovely women of 2023? Where can we find you? Where are you hiding? Let Dusty Boaz know where you at. Because I'm going to come find you.
Do this. So how long you married? Been married?
It's going on 13 years now.
Yeah. This new crop of women out here now is different.
I think it's still some good women out there.
I believe it.
Tell me where you are.
They out there, but the problem is, and we can get into this later, but you know, this dating culture is tough, bro.
It's different.
It's
Online
different.
dating.
They got too many options. It's just it ain't the same, man. They don't commit. They don't invest like they used to.
Tell me where dating is in the Bible.
I would say maybe you need to change the scenery. Don't use the dating app because you already know what you're getting yourself into. If they on the dating app, you know what I'm saying, their whole intentions is totally different from what what you're expecting from them. So you gotta like keep it real with yourself and be like, if I get on this dating app, I already know what the outcome most likely gonna be. So I mean, if a dog, a dog, a dog, a dog. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see it for what it is and not try to say, man, she got cat tendencies though. But you gotta change your scenery. Like the woman you're looking for is not gonna be in the club, from what I'm hearing from you guys. It's not gonna be the woman that's at the bar waiting by the bar. It's probably gonna be a woman that's somewhere like, in a nice area. You might catch her working out. You might catch her at the stove. You just don't know where you're gonna catch her at, but she's not gonna be in those places where you can at least expect her to be at for the type of woman you're looking for. Like you ain't gonna catch a mouse with honey, or you're gonna catch her with a rat trap. So I mean, like you gotta change your scenery up. Like you gotta like say, okay, what type of woman am I looking for? Am I looking for the business woman? Am I looking for the woman that's smart, that's intelligent? Where do I find her at? What is she doing with her time?
Oh, I constantly ask myself that question. Trust me. I see some people walking around with people. I'm like, how in the world did they find that? Like, where are they going that they found her at? So, maybe I'm just hanging out the wrong places. Like you said, I don't get out of the house much. I work from home. My outing is going to the grocery store and going to the gym. So, outside of that.
It's funny you say that because, like, when you think about it from just like a biblical standpoint, like, I think the Lord is going to send the right woman to you. But I think you got to have the open ear to hear from God when He identify that woman to you. Like, the problem is we cloud in the judgment because we're looking for these certain characteristics. When the woman that could be already in your presence, you might see her at church, you might see her at the gym, but because there's so much other things clouding your ability to listen, you might be missing that. Like God gonna send the right woman for you, but if you cloud it by going to look on, your apps and stuff like that, it's gonna create a certain perception and an appetite for something different.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Are you a tiger or are you a lion looking for a lioness? The tiger being the cat that's always out on the prowl, never locking down, hopping from one tigress to the next. Whereas a lion and all his kinglyship is trying to build a kingdom and a legacy to leave behind. So you have to put yourself in a position, as Reverend Judas is saying, where your kinglyship shows and they are attracted to that. And they come to you and say, can I have an opportunity to be a part of your kingdom? And I'm going to say, are you feminine, fit, friendly, and faithful?
Yeah.
Or are you a hyena?
Wolf in sheep clothes.
Wolf in sheep's clothing. Well, that's what we got tonight for this this video with DJ Khaled. Thank you for the creator. Let's see what his name is.
Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay. Thank you, Club Shay Shay, for posting that video. Letting us know what Uncle Sharp.
Yep.
Thank you for posting that video so that we can get our lives together, get our acts right, and step into our Kingsley hood.
Trying to level up.
Right? Time to level up, brothers. We can't keep on bashing them for not being traditional and we not kings. Hit that like, subscribe button. Turn your bell notifications on. I'm the host, Dusty Boaz Henry, believer of the Alpha and the Omega, the one and only true God. Henry being high earning, not rich yet. But out of the crew, shout out to KD, shout out to AC and Reverend Judas. I'm the dusty one. Them brothers clean. Hit us up, leave that comment. Thank you for watching. We out. Peace.